Hi everyone, I just want to share with you a quick thought on this week's Parsha. This week's Torah portion is actually double, Achrei Mot, Kedoshim, a double portion. And in the second Parsha, there's a famous, maybe the most famous phrase from the Torah, love your neighbor like yourself. And obviously there's a lot to understand here and there's so much to say, but one of the things to focus on is love your neighbor like yourself. Why doesn't it just tell us to love our neighbor? What does it mean loving our neighbor like ourselves? And the assumption behind that question, why everybody asks that question, is because it's very unlikely that a person can love anybody like themselves. But even if we can love a few people like ourselves, can we really love everybody as much as ourselves? And there's a lot to say about this. And one important direction is that really what loving other people is just an extension of ourselves. We love people when we extend our sense of self to incorporate other people into what we think of when we think about ourselves. That's a very deep thought, maybe for another time. But I want to add another important takeaway from these words. Love your friend like yourself. What does it mean like yourself? And there's a very simple concept that we treat others similarly in relation to how we treat ourselves. No, this is not directly. It's not like, if we're kind to ourselves, that moment, the next second we'll be kind to someone else. Or if we're, harsh on ourselves, the next moment we'll be harsh to other people. But it's overall, generally, the way we are is that the more we learn to be loving towards ourselves and treat ourselves in a non-judgmental, loving ourselves in an unconditional way, the easier it is to love other people in a non-judgmental, unconditional way. And if the more harsh, judgmental we are on ourselves, even if we care about other people, by definition, we will end up being harsh and judgmental on them because we end up treating other people who we care about the way we treat ourselves. So step one is loving other people. But step two is realizing that even the people who we love, we end up treating them the way we treat ourselves. And this is so important because this means that for us to be able to love other people and care about other people, there's an important foundational step, which is to love and care about ourselves. And not to make the mistake of what some people call self-care in an overindulgent way. It doesn't mean that a person should be so absorbed with themselves they don't get to help other people. I mean this in a sense that this is a great way to be a loving person, to actually take care of ourselves. That when we ourselves are struggling in life, which we all are at different things, when we take care of those struggles and deal with ourselves and put ourselves in a healthy position, that gives us the ability to be kind, loving, and giving to others. But if we ignore our needs and don't take care of ourselves and don't take care of with whatever it is that we're struggling with, then that puts us in a less favorable position to actually care for other people. So this Shabbat, not just think about who we love and who we care about and the good things we want to do about them, but think about putting ourselves in that healthy position where we're treating ourselves in a healthy way in which we're able to love others and do good to them. Have a great Shabbos.